Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now, this video right here is about Chris Brown and some allegations he made a few days ago. Basically, explaining the situation, what happened between him and Rihanna. Since we have so many people that act like they just the experts on what happened in their relationships, like the people was sleeping in the bed with them, the people was around them all day, the same people that make these commentaries on this guy day-to-day life, like Chris Brown could do no wrong. Don't they understand that Chris Brown is human just like anybody else, and that also all men are not always the aggressor, and just like all men are not always the victim, vice versa with the women. All women ain't victims. Some of them women are very aggressive and very, very hot-headed, if you know what I mean, and will try to put their hands on you. If some of you guys know what I mean, because when I was young, I went through that thing, that situation also. You see what I'm saying? We call it that thing. You feel me? But for any person who ever been through these type of relationships where you have these crazy females, and you mostly like in your late teens, 18, 19, 20, some of you all still doing it at 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, but I'm talking about that's when it was going on in my life, you know what I'm saying, that time period, when you still trying to learn your way around, you know what I'm saying, life, trying to figure out what it means to be a man, you trying to figure out what it means to be a woman. And so those identities, they clash with each other, and basically everybody want to have their way. So recently Chris Brown opened up about the domestic violence situation that he was involved in, and basically saying also that Rihanna was very violent also with him, and that she will also get mad, flip out, and put her hands on him, because even Rihanna's own dad have came out and said that Rihanna has a very bad temper, and that she was always getting into fights on the island, hitting girls with bottles and stuff. So it's not like Rihanna is no saint. You can look at Rihanna and tell that she's about that life. She's about it, and rowdy, or however you want to call it. But at the same time, the way this whole Chris Brown and Rihanna thing was dragged out in the public and publicized, it's still like some hidden details that it's not being said. Because at first they said that the reason why Chris had beat her up was because Rihanna had gave him an STD. That was the alleged allegations at first. As a matter of fact, you can go on the internet, depends on where you look at and how you type it in and Google it, it will come up. You know, how these allegations, then they said it was about a female, then they just said they were just, just a couple that just was so crazy that they would just fight each other. So it was either over another female, over a man, or STDs or something like that. But anyway, basically what they're trying to say is that Chris Brown is victim blaming. Now he's basically making the victims feel like they are the reason why it happened. And a lot of men do that, where they'll get into it with a woman or whatever, or start a fight, and have that woman act out, knowing that she's going to act out in a certain way, just for them to turn around and blame the whole incident on her. I understand that part of the game. I'm sure a lot of you all do also. But at the same time, I think it was even. Now, true enough, no man should ever hit a woman, and no woman should ever hit a man. You're both the same. One might be a little stronger than the other one, but who's to say if you wouldn't hit a person and knock their teeth out, he hit you, you knocking each other's teeth out? One could just have a little bit more force, but still though, you still should keep your hands to yourself. That's common sense, but a lot of people don't have common sense. But anyway, it's kind of strange also that the same situation would happen between him and Karuchi, in not the exact same situation, but in similar situations. That the story with him and Karuchi, how they would just kept fighting. It's like he was overzealous of her. He wouldn't wanted to go nowhere, and basically he was just being very protected. And feel like that's like kind of like ran her off. Now some females like that, some females don't like that. Some females like to be up under their man. Some females like for their man to be totally in control. Some females like for their men to be jealous. Just depend on the type of person you're dealing with. Different strokes for different folks. But at the same time, I wouldn't want a person who want to question me every step I make, like I'm Bobby Brown. Like, where you going? What time you going to be back? Who you with? You got a phone number there? I done had somebody like that in my life, and don't nobody want what Destiny Child and them used to say, a bugaboo. You feel what I'm saying? The last thing you want is a damn bugaboo, somebody worrying you, and here you is a full grown ass person, and you got to constantly answer to somebody else. And you say, well, coming with me. They don't never want to come, but they want to constantly call you, hang up. What you doing? Oh, you better not be with that bitch and all. That type of talk right there, which is for the birds, which is for the kids. And it's sad that you still have grown ass people that acts like that and basically that live like that. So you have this man Chris who's becoming, slightly older man. Because remember, the guy first started, he was like what, 16. So he's been in the game a long time, and he has learned a lot. He learned a lot the hard way. It's just sad that he had to go through all this stuff, basically just to realize what time it is out here. You cannot put your hand on these women, and sometimes even when the woman is the aggressor and they try to attack you, they still expect you to sit there and let a woman whoop your ass. I don't understand that part of the game right there, because I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to hurt you, don't you hurt me. But I'd be damned if I let you put a scar on my face, or, what I'm saying, knock my eye out, knock my teeth out, or take my life. So it's going to be him heal you. You see what I'm saying? So make your choice. But anyway, but in this society, women can do no wrong. Men are always the dogs. It's always the man's fault. Even when a man cheats, it's basically, well, you must did something to make her mad. I mean, to make her mad, you must was playing games with her, or she probably was just tired of you. But it can never be she's wrong. It can never be the fact that she knows she shouldn't have done that, or ooh, she's such a whore and all this. But no, it's always going to be flipped back on the man. So we understand this even in the domestic violence situation. You see what I'm saying? And they done passed all these laws ever since the O.J. Simpson trial thing. And a lot of y'all might say, what they got to do with this? It has a lot to do with it, because when they passed these new laws after the Nicole Brown Simpson and O.J. Simpson uh, debacle back in the day, basically they made it way more. They made way more stiffer penalties and everything on people that get caught up in these domestic violence situations, where if you're fighting your spouse, whether it's the woman or the man, but most of the time they're gonna put it on the man, and they increase the fines of the penalty, jail time, and all that. It depends on how many times you do it. It becomes a felony. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you do and how many times it is. You can look all that up. It's been documented. But at the same time, it's good to see Chris trying to move on, and hopefully that he can just get somebody that compliments him. Now, we all thought him and Rihanna made a real good couple. We just from the outside looking in, just like we thought a lot of people made real good couples. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sure a lot of people looked at you and your significant other and thought you all made a good couple. But most likely you're not with that person today. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what people from the outside looking in, but it's matter what's going on the inside, and can you really find yourself living with this person, being comfortable with this person. But at the same time, it's even worse when this person has mental problems. A lot of these people have mental problems. You see what I'm saying? Anger issues, where they just been lashing out their whole lives, and they just feel like they can just lash out on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Men and women do that until they grow up and realize, look, this is not the way to be. This is not the way to carry myself. But this is why I advise people, if you have someone like that, you need to let that person be by themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not your job to try to raise a grown person, and it's not your job to sit there and be anybody punching bag at the same time. Now, we've seen the pictures of Rihanna and stuff, kind of like, bust up a little bit, and a lot of people say a lot of that was makeup also, but I believe she was really actually attacked, because I think her lip was busted or something like that, and it'd be hard to really pretty much, fake a lip bust. But at the same time, Rihanna is no saint. Them island girls, if you know anything about these island girls, they're very, very hot-tempered girls, and they do not play. You feel what I'm saying? Trust me, I know. They will get on your ass for the littlest things, just like if you think that they are the man in the relationships, and sometimes they are. But this goes all back to the gender roles, where you have these genders clashing, where you have in this day and age where they want the women to act like a man and think like a woman, and they want the man to act like a woman but have responsibility and the income of a man. If you get that point right there, you see what I'm saying? They basically want the woman to run everything and want the man to be the stepping stone. You see what I'm saying? Here go my money, here go my paycheck, that type of bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? But to real men, that don't work. So you just have a bunch of gender clashing roles. People need to know their place in their relationships, and don't get involved in a relationship if you're not ready to deal with the good and the bad, because so basically what I advise people to do is don't get into a relationship until you're ready to actually commit to that person and be with that person and go through the storm, go through the rain, go through the sunshine, meaning go through the good and bad with that person, because every day is not going to be sunny. It's going to be some rainy days. It's going to be some very sad and gloomy days. But the true test of love is, can you all stand through that? Can you stand through the verbal abuse? You see what I'm saying? Because people are going to say things sometimes, and that's natural, but it's a limit to whatever you do. Now, the physical abuse, we don't tolerate none of that right there. But people are going to say things sometimes like, well, shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I don't want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? That's natural. That's okay. But make sure you give more love in a relationship than you do abuse. Make sure you give more positive energy in a relationship than negative energy. You see what I'm saying? You always want to have that balance, but you always want to have also more love that you're pouring out to each other every day, because that's what's going to sustain you until your dying days if you're really serious about being with each other. And hopefully, you know, see Breezy get himself right and find somebody that really can love him the way he need to be loved, because, you know, he grew up in the spotlight. He didn't have time to really even enjoy his teen years, his late teen years, I'll say his early 20s, because he's been constantly going on this roller coaster that they call celebrity, media, Hollywood fame. But anyway, let me know what you all think in the comment section and stuff. And also, if you all been through a certain few things, I ain't telling you to pour out your heart, your life spirit, you know what I'm saying, or basically just saying, you know, this what happened to me for verbatim detail. I just want to hear some of you all opinions on if you all have been, you know, through certain situations, whether domestic or whether, you know, and how did you all work it out? You know, because we have to also deal with the problem, but we also have to find solutions to these problems also. This has been your boy Trey. Let me know what you think in the comment section. You like, subscribe. I'm out.